Hello everybody, it is Sunday, September 26th, 2021, and last night we went to the Derby, and Friday I took James to go to Gravit, to the ball game, his first one with some friends, and I think he had a good time, he said, so that was great. Work's been going okay, although they yet again scheduled me 2 weeks in a row, 40 hours, which I did not want. And it's been crazy at work. This week's been really crazy. We've been really short-handed. I mean, I had to work 1 hour first over on Saturday, and then I had to work 30 minutes over one other day, and then I just did like 11 minutes the last time. And I want to say this last day though, on Saturday, yesterday, I got off on time for once. And then there were so many workers. Here's the funny part about it, okay? It was kind of like in the morning I was thinking, oh my gosh, because they were already late on our breaks and stuff. I thought, oh my God, we're not going to have anyone. But all of a sudden, in the afternoon, I don't know what time, there was like tons of workers everywhere. It was insane. I mean, we were crazy busy, so that was a good thing, And that's why I got off on time. But I got where I think they had so many people, they didn't know where to put people. Like this guy came an hour before I was going to get off. And I've been at the door the whole day today, which I was like, bummed about. I'm like, whatever. It's an hour. I want to get out of here on time. So I'm like, okay, let's just stay here. I got a place, whatever. And, I was really hurting and stuff, and I was tired. And so he goes like, I'm here now, so you can go. I'm like, oh, where am I supposed to go? I got there. They didn't know where to put me. So they said, oh, go take this girl break at Garden. But she wasn't at Garden. It was another guy. But luckily, he was the one who was supposed to go to lunch. So he took off and went to lunch. And then 10 minutes before I was done, they're like, oh, I'm here to relieve you. I'm like, what? So this guy relieved me. And I had 10 minutes to do whatever. So I thought, oh, am I supposed to just clock out? So I went and go found someone. I said, oh, no, just go ahead and go to the grocery bin and work there for 10 minutes. And I don't know. It was one lady, she left. She was off the same time I was off. She's like, I'm out of here 3 minutes before this time. But I didn't want to just do that. So I worked up until the 3 o'clock. And then I was like, I'm out of here, signing off. And I did. So I got my, exact time. And so hopefully the person, Liz, will, change my schedule and take off the 2 days I want taken off. And I'll have to keep trying to badger her, because I sent her a text, but I may have to badger her because she hadn't responded. And I don't know if it's because she really wasn't working Saturday or she was so busy. Her door was open. It looked like she was there, but it could have been somebody else in her office, So I'm not 100% sure. She might have had the day off, and she's like, I'm not even working till who knows when, right? Because she's been doing a lot of orientations. And I guess we'll see, We'll go see how next week's going to be, except that, like I said, I'm really hoping that they get this stuff together. And I kind of hope I don't have to be on doors the whole time, because anyone can do doors. It's brainless, it's mindless, and it gets boring. Sometimes I don't like wearing the headset. I like doing stuff. And usually you can keep busy in those pins, customers, cleaning, something. But anyway, I wanted to try to do, because I'm trying to get back on track on my finances, which hopefully I've got it all scheduled out for the next 2 weeks, because next week I get paid. So really it's actually next week, because I already did what I could do. Like I gotta put money in the bank this week, and that'll pay a couple bills. But next week's checks does matter a lot, and I'm still going to technically be under, because I will have no money for anything like supplies, gasoline for the car, just to pay the bills, okay? Nothing. And that means to what? The next week after, or 2 weeks after, when I get, child credit, tax credit, and a paycheck. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's going to be kind of a stressful 2 weeks. And I know how it is, because money comes and goes. We just played times we didn't have any money, but then we got some somehow. So you never know. I'm just gonna go with the flow and see how it goes. Just because I have a job doesn't mean that there'll be no money, because that's it. But cause you know how it is, things happen. But I am trying to keep my key priority. I don't want to be full time. I barely want to do 4 days a week, to be honest. But it does help to have money, but at the same time, I'm just like, what am I doing with my life? And then I started thinking, you know what? Because we were talking about insurance at work, and I'm already going, you know what? We have right now the medical's good that we got, but when with my job, it's gonna probably change, and it probably won't be that good. And I don't want to give them my money. I do not want to give them my money. So I'm like, can I go without ever seeing a doctor unless it's an emergency and somehow just saving myself and just praying? You know, because you know how many people my age and older, we have to go to doctors, we have to get medicines. I mean, yeah, that's the thing. The lady was talking about all these medicines her husband was on, and some of them were like, he's got diabetes like me, and they were super expensive, $500, and this is with medical, okay, medical insurance. It was $500, $1,000, and whatever. I'm like, geez, you know. So I don't know, and I want to deal with that. I mean, if I can't eat healthy like I should do, maybe I deserve to die. Okay, I should say it on Facebook or whatever, but maybe that's what they think. Is that what they think? Because you know how hard it is to live right now and buy stuff you need and then have to deal with medical stuff? I don't know. It's actually giving me a headache, a severe headache. I just don't know how people survive. You know, my cousin came back from Alabama and she has to pay $1,000 rent for a duplex as a single parent, probably with a minimum wage job, with 2 kids. And I know a lot of people do this every freaking day. Yeah, we're lucky our rent's really low. Yeah. Our electricity and all that stuff skyrocketed. Did you know there was like $100 difference from last year to this year? And I knew this because I seen it jump. I mean, we saw it increase, but you don't think about how much of a difference is 1 year difference, $100. What's it going to be next year? You know? What are the bills going to be next year? And I'm reading books and watching movies, and some of those things, not so fun to watch. But we were reading Jane Eyre, and they're reading about this poor orphanage, and the kids were dying and freezing to death and starving to death in these little orphanage schools, private school things, And it's sad. And I saw, like, they had on the news on one of these articles about, like, oh, look, this school in Canada, they found all these bodies buried under the church of poor little kids that died because of stuff like that. So obviously this book is based on truth, even if it was in England. Based on truth. And people can die and things like that from people, because the people who were running that school in this book had tons of money. They're trying to teach, humility and being, thrifty and stuff, I guess. I don't know if that's the word I want to use, because it was like, it's not quite the right word, but where they, didn't plain, kind of like, plain clothes. But then his wife and children were dressed up in furs and fancy clothes, and the girl's like, this looks so weird. We're, the way they're getting treated and being taught, but then they're not living it themselves, which is reality. Isn't that how it is? But does the reality have to be so bad that they had to starve to death and get so sick from being so cold that they couldn't even keep up with, the medicine? They didn't have medicines, I don't think, very much. That's why the kids were dying, And they probably didn't have enough nourishment to keep them more, It's sad. I know we're lucky in America, so we should be, very lucky. But it's just scary because it just seems like sometimes it gets harder and harder. And looking at history, it is hard. We have no idea what hard is because we haven't lived it yet. Some people are living it every day. We've had help, though, so it kind of helps. Okay, this is like 9 minutes, and I don't think I want to post this on YouTube. This thing turned an ugly turn. Yeah, very ugly. My teeth. Eee, that's ugly, too. I'm not liking this picture. I'm not going to put my own face on Facebook.